and a couple of yeah, life in a merry old land of ours. Oops. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday night's live deals. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of October. I don't know why I've suddenly decided to start giving you the date. Obviously, because I'm just a strange person. So, hello to Patricia, Sally-Ann, Leslie. Oh, Patricia from the Treasury, Kidderminster. How are you? Are you doing the NEC at the end of the month? No, we don't do the NEC, unfortunately. It is we haven't done it for a long time. I think Jane was considering it. It is very expensive to do. It is very expensive to do the NEC. So it's not something that they're sort of planning to do. So I hope you can all see me. I can see perfectly on YouTube. I've just checked our signal strength and we're going out at the strongest we've been for ages, 86.5 megabits, which is really strong. But I'm not seeing anything on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you can see it, please let me know, because I can't. I'm just trying to refresh it, but I can hopefully see the comments. If you can't see, then please have a look on, switch over to YouTube. Yeah, it's just not letting me. Where am I connected to? I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off and on again. That might be the best thing. So if you can see, let us know. And we'll get on with it. So, what are midweek deals? And thank you for those who've been asking. My cold is a lot better. It's not been brilliant today at all, but it's been it's got a lot better. So hopefully that will think. So what are midweek deals? Let's start this properly. Midweek deals are our amazing half price deals. It's almost like a Crafts 2 warehouse clearance. We have got so many wonderful products that we are trying to clear, and trying to help people. Honestly, sorry, I'm trying to get Facebook to work properly for me, and it just doesn't seem to want to. At least I can see the comments there. Okay, on Facebook, Carol says, all good here, says Jan. It's just me then that can't. Thankfully, I can see it over there on the... So, half-price deals. Basically, we've got some amazing products, genuinely amazing products at fantastic deals. Tonight's bundle is £18. That is absolutely crazy, and it is for some absolutely gorgeous dies, I've got to show you the corners that are in this, or the edges. Look, have you ever seen, I mean, I've never even designed an edger die that's that detailed. It's absolutely beautiful. There is the most gorgeous frame. Here I've done it in white and silver and green. Here I've done it on gold and used one of the stamps to show you one of the stamps. So it works so well with it that are on here. And the little tags. There's so many things. And I've got so many samples that I should have shown you. But they're all on the website. And we'll pop the website. I'll pop the link on. It's obviously just mine Facebook that's not working. So I'm going to take you onto the overhead so I can show you. Let's zoom in a little bit. This is a wonderful bundle. This is a really good value bundle. So first of all, you're going to get 4 die sets in this bundle just for £18. So remember, hold on, because you need to add something worth £2 and a penny more in there, because you want to get it over £20 to have the free P&P. I will get to the little penguin. Isn't he cute? So first die in here is these 2 edges. So instead of just getting 1, you've got 2. They're both the same size. They're just over 5 inches. And they're 2 completely different designs. Now, where's that card? Honestly, I've got samples all over the place. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to use this as a demo. But look, you've got those beautiful edges there. So that one is just like a little snowflake in there. And all it does is cut the edge. They're absolutely beautiful. So what have we got? Someone's asked a question. Does the frame look Christmas? The frame can work. You have to make your own choice. I'm going to be using it, but it's very, very almost non-Christmas, the frame. So let me get to that one. So that's your first 2. So I'll get to that one, Emma. Then you've got this one. I've got a second one of that, so that needs to go in the pile to go back over there. This is lovely. A champagne bottle. So this isn't Christmas. Champagne bottle and glass, New Year, anything. I've never seen anything so beautiful, so small as that one. You know, I've only ever seen big champagne glasses and bottles. But look how cute the bottle is. I just think it's so clever, and it cuts absolutely like a dream. And then you've got the foliage. So really only the holly is Christmas in this. So that's your sort of second one. Your third one are the tags. And again, no definitive Christmas on here. So absolutely no definitive Christmas. Absolutely fine. For all year round. And then your frame is, again, it's all down as Amy Designed Christmas Wishes. But the only bits of Christmas on here are 2 little bits of holly. So this would make a beautiful all year round frame. And I think it would work absolutely amazingly. Just like that with other flowers. And it's almost like a bow. So yeah, I would say, Emma, it's not a definitive just Christmas at all. It is all year round frame. You could use all year round. But normally the frames are sort of like, even at half price, the frames are like sort of £5.50, £6.50, whereas the frames are really expensive. I'm just going to try and sort out the signal again a second. Now, a couple of people have said I've put the link on for the there we go. Yeah, it's the devices. So if I swap devices... Oh, it's not wanting to play on my laptop. My laptop needs updating then. So I'm not going to be able to see YouTube tonight. Comments, I don't think. So beautiful collection, only £18. And you can get that from literally absolutely anywhere. You can get that on the website, which I've just put in the link on now. So that's our first one, our first bundle tonight. Our second option, and this is the one that I want to suggest you add in. So this is the one I want to sort of suggest to everyone to add into your bundle or add into your basket to make you over that £20 for the P&P. This is a beautiful selection of, get the words out, John. Terrible. Beautiful selection of tags, star tags. I will cut these first for you because I've not cut these yet. But at £4, if you add them into that first bundle, that's going to give you the whole £22, which is free postage, which basically means if you buy the bundle at £18, your postage is £3.49. So your total is going to be £21.49. If you add these tags or another £4 item into your basket, your total will be £22. So you will be paying 49p or 51p, sorry, for that die set, or any of them at £4. So really is worth throwing one in, because it would be absolutely silly not to. So I'm going to take you through some of the £4 options that we've got. So I showed you there the tags. Here we've got the beautiful Winter Fox, and he's one of those gorgeous character dies where you can just colour through, and give him an absolutely beautiful time. And it's just cut in white, and I've just coloured through the die. That's it. So works absolutely beautifully. So that's another one at £4. So remember, if you add this into your bundle, and Jane and Peter will probably shout at me for telling you this, if you add any £4 item into the bundle along with that £18 bundle, it actually effectively costs you 49p because of the postage. So the next one is the Penguin, and the Penguin set is just, no, where are we? Where's your Penguin? There he is. So your Penguin is amazing, because you get the Penguin, and look how clever he is. He's so cute. Again, I've got a sample I've made with him here. Look, I just think he's such a cute thing. But you get the Christmas tree as well. You get the scarf, but you also get a little hat for him and a little bird. So there's an awful lot included in that set for just the £4. So it's really worth adding that £4 into there, so that you can, so add that £4 in, and it's only costing you, I think it's 51p. It's something absolutely crazy, and it's really worth it. So I'm trying to get YouTube working now, so yeah, it's not having it on my laptop at all. Right, so that's one of the other ones. We've also got, I wanted to show you, there's a couple of beautiful frames as well that we've got here, as well on the website today, that are a little bit sort of mixed ones, but these are all new items today. So here we've got this beautiful party frame. So this again is half price. This is only £6.50. But if you're wanting something to just make you a really simple cut and make Christmas card, this is beautiful. Look, it's got the present, it's got the balloons. Let's bring in a piece so you can actually see it a little bit better, because it needs to be on some colour. I think that is an amazing frame. You've got the balloons, you've got the ribbon, you've got a rainbow, top hat, bottle of champagne, glass, so you could use that for so many different occasions. Oh, good evening, our Carol's watching. Erica's Penguin's going to be on the cards for the residents where I work. I think that's perfect for them. I think that's a really great idea, Erica. That really is. The other frame I wanted to show you is this one. This is called the Cool frame, and this is absolutely, I love this. The middle of this is just beautiful. It has an almost like a teardrop edge. And I say that, but it cuts you out the most beautiful snowflakes, which I've used. So there's the frame. And it is a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous frame. But there's the snowflakes that fall out from the frame. So you're getting absolutely gorgeous. That's another one of the stamps that have actually been reduced, because I want to show you onto the website, because there are so many options tonight of things that you can actually have a look at. So many new pieces. So where are we? There we go. Let's get onto this one. So this, if we click over to the website, you can see, let's take you off. There we go. So there's that bundle, £18. And as I said, please don't put just that in your basket, At £18, that is crazy value, but you'll pay £3.49 postage in the UK. You might as well add any of these £4. If you add any of the £4 frames in, or £4 items, oh, the fox is only 3. Oh, I got him wrong, I'm sorry. Then it will take you to £22, which costs you 52p against the postage. Love that one. I absolutely thought this was beautiful. And I loved the sample of this. Where are the stamps? I need to get to the stamps as well. But look, let me just click over a second. Look how gorgeous that is. I love that as a scene. So that's using that frame. So that's using that frame that we've just been looking at there, the cool frame. And then on a strip of vellum, I've just added that beautiful winter family sort of scene with the windmill. I think it's really beautifully clever. So there is an awful lot more on the website that you can get hold of. There's that party frame at just £6.50. There's the Cool It frame at £5.50. They've got the Keep It Cool paper pack, which is beautiful. Now the stamps, this stamp, can you see that card there? Loved making this. These stamps are exceptional value. So all I've done is used grey and brown and used one to make the background. And then I've done the multi-layer stamp and a little bit of the foliage. It's really, really good. Oh, good luck, Erica. I hope you have lost this week. Nicola Leishman, who is back from Australia, says the heating went on tonight. She's over winter before it started. You have just come back from Australia, Nicola, to be fair. So to take you through, the stamp sets are only £4.50, and there are 3 absolutely beautiful stamp sets. And £4.50 is crazy. These are A5 clear stamp sets. These would normally be from any other company, and I hate saying this because it sounds like it's one of those lines. From any other company, you know now the cheapest you'll ever see an A5 stamp set is £12.99. They go from £14.99 to £17.99. But we've done them. I think these must have already been reduced, and then they've been reduced again. But look, that's got those beautiful bells in it that I've used here. But it's got text, Christmas text, baubles, beautiful pieces. I've got to stop saying that word. Candles, all gorgeously hand-drawn stuff. Then, so that's the spirit. This is Christmas flowers from Janini's Art. That has got that stunning poinsettia. Now, where have I put that? There he is. But look how gorgeously that colours. I think it's just an absolutely amazing piece. So that includes that one. But in there you've got all the foliage, 3 beautiful baubles, lots and lots of foliage, and birds in there, sort of like robin, and the sort of American versions and blue tits and things like that. So absolutely gorgeous stamp set. And then finally, this is the one that I made that brilliant card from. But look, I'm just using that one stamp there, and then the multi-layer owl. But you've got some beautiful little images on here. You've got some absolutely amazing pieces on here. You've got a snowman, and the snowman is build up. So the snowman is literally a build-up snowman. Where you can build up with hats and arms and different styles of hat and different snow and everything. Really, really clever. So if you're into your sort of piece, if you're into your stamping, this is a really good set. But at that price of, let's just check it again just to make sure I'm getting that right, £4.50. That's ridiculous. At £4.50, those are things you are going to do, that one. So someone said, where on the website are the dies? I've just put a link on. They're all on the website for you, on the link I've just put on. And now where have I put that? Oh, there it is. And so I have got some demos already prepared, but I did want to show you these beautiful leaves. So, beautiful leaves, beautiful tags, because they're really clever. These are emboss and ink through ones. So we're just going to take a piece of our coconut white card. And of course I'm using a scrap. And they're such sweet little tags. These would make really nice tags to sell as well, I think, if you're doing your craft fairs and things like that. Oh, bless our Samantha Hughes had a lot of injections today. Oh, bless her. We'll catch you later, Samantha. No one ever feel you've got to watch any of the shows we do. I never do. So all I'm going to do is just tape those down and run them through and cut them as normal. No problems at all. And if you're watching, because I can't see everyone's watching, because obviously for some reason my laptop doesn't seem to want to play tonight in terms of showing. It won't show me Facebook, and it won't show me any videos. It's obviously got some sort of plugin it needs to do. But as long as everyone else's is working, it's absolutely fine. So I've just cut those. I've left them in place, and I'm going to take the foam tape off. And I'm putting them on the Magic Mat because it makes it so much easier to use. And then just grabbing a finger dauber, obviously red because I'm going to do Christmassy. I'm going to do it red colours. So, and all you do is literally scribble over the back of the die. Very, very clever the way they've done it. Nice and simple. And you can emboss these, so these look beautiful if they're done on satin card or mirror card or something like that. But let's just pop it out. But you can see, look. I'm gonna pop these out, and then I'm gonna zoom in so you can see them properly. Now, we did have some problems with the website earlier, James told me, but having checked it, everything should be running properly now. We are trying to have the Art of Craft website sort of upgraded as much as possible so that people aren't missing out. If you did miss out on Sunday's collection, it is still available because obviously we made sure that stock was fully loaded and we saved some back for everybody. But can you see there how beautiful they are? They look as if they've been hand stamped. And of course they haven't. They've just gone through with a little bit of ink. It's as simple as that. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's one of those dies that I would definitely add in, because you're talking only £4, which basically is almost free because your postage is £3.49. So add that in with that main bundle and you're going to pay £22, and it's going to cost you effectively 52p more than just buying the bundle and paying postage. So let's just go. Here we go. So I am going to use now. There we go. So what I've done is I've already cut that frame because it's absolutely beautiful. But you know, this is one of my absolutely favourite things to do with one of these style of dies is to get a different colour behind it and actually get it to work. Thank you, Andy. That's very kind. It's just so beautiful. So I've got a piece here of gold mirror card, of really bright gold. There's no point in being backwards when you're using a bit of gold. And I'm just going to spray glue the back of the frame and pop it on. Nice and simple like that onto the card. And then I'm going to take the die and slot the die back on. And it is, thankfully, symmetrical in two locations. Let's zoom you out a little bit. Sorry, guys. I didn't realise I'd zoomed in quite so much. There we go. So it fits that way. It won't fit that way, but it fits that way. And then all I want to do is to tape it on. And then I simply want to run it through on the lightest pressure I can, because I really only want the middle and the outside to cut through. So let's just put them through. Everyone's talking the weather. The weather's lovely here. It's not cold and it's not raining, which is very unusual for the north. So here we go. So can you see there? It's not really cut anywhere apart from on the outside. and hopefully on the inside. And if it hasn't cut on the inside, we can just ease it out anyway. So all I do is use my poker tool and just, there we go, go around with my poker tool and push downwards to get every little bit out. There we go, there we go. But look how beautiful that is as a frame. And again, that really doesn't scream Christmas to me. It really, really doesn't. I think it's quite strong of just being quite a beautiful decorative frame. So what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of foam tape. And what I want to do is just put a little bit on each corner. So I'm not going to go all the way around because it's very, very fine. But because I've got 2 pieces of colour in there, it's going to be covered quite well. So here we go. And I want a little bit of depth in this. So I'm going to put a second piece in. So don't forget, guys, I am back. So this, you've got a 2-hour tonight because I'm back with on the Art of Craft, on John Next Door Official. I'm on John Next Door Official Facebook page and still here on YouTube at 7 o'clock with Craft Cave Live, where we'll just be demo. I think I'll make a clock. I want to make a clock. So here we go. So did I answer your question? Where on the website are these dies, John? Patricia, the dies are only on the Art of Craft. You won't obviously find them on Crafts too. But just that, to me, looks like one of those beautiful foiled pieces. You know, those sort of foiled frames that we buy that are really expensive, sort of Art Deco style. I just think that is so classy, just doing it that way, and it's really, really good. So let me have a look. People are saying they're having a few problems. The Art of Craft website is running a little bit slow by the look of things. So if it is, don't worry, guys. If it is, don't worry, guys. Just wait and it will come back up, and it won't, you know, they'll make sure the stock stays there for you. Jackie Jones, how do you use the glitter foam that's on the website, please? Again, it's just something you can die cut. You can make beautiful flowers. It makes beautiful Christmas flowers from. But if you actually watch on Facebook, some of the Facebook reels, there's a lot of people at the moment putting out Christmas decorations made using the foam. Unfortunately, I don't have any. I can't sort of show you them, but there's somewhere they cut it into strips and make baubles out of it. There's a lot you can do. So have a look on the Facebook on that one. So obviously I want something to go in the middle of that. So what I thought I'd do is I'll do one of the tags because we're using everything from the same bundle. So I've got that beautiful centre, but of course we can put that one on. Sorry. So yeah, I think a few people, yeah, the website is glitching for me as well. It's not letting me get onto it. I'm going to try the other one and see if I can. Yeah, the website is running a little bit slow, but don't worry, it will come back up. They will be chasing it. It will come back up. So I could put my little thing there, but I thought, no, I'm going to do something. I want to use the other dies in this set because it's just a beautiful set altogether. So I thought I'm going to go to the tags and I'm going to cut one of the big tags. And these are really cleverly done. I want to show you. So I'm going to use one in the mirror card because they've got so many features in here that have been designed to really... There we go. To work, because I looked at it first and thought, that seems a very strange design. But look, it's not. It embosses in that beautiful stitch detail all the way around. So it cuts that through, cuts the hole out, but it embosses in a double to make it look as if it's actually on it's got one of those protectors around it. Such a clever idea. So I've done that in mirror card. I'm going to do it again in white. So this is just onto a piece of coconut white. Julie Warlow. I thought it was just me having issues. The air is blue here. Yeah, sorry guys, it does look like the Artcraft website is having problems again. But don't worry, I know to say keep trying. It's just refreshed up for me. So it's literally just refreshed up for me. And there is still stock of the bundle. So that's doing, there we go, the 2 tags, because I love this mixture of white and gold. But look how they fit beautifully in there. And then I thought, well, let's put a champagne bottle and a glass on there. Let's go for the celebration. So I've already cut the bottle in green. And what happens is it cuts out all of these pieces. Yeah. Now, if I stick that, because I'm going to again use some scrap, but if I cut this and I spray glue that and I glue it on there, and then I put the die and I cut it back through, it's going to cut through. It's too much of a basic shape. So what you need to do is you need to have 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do, so this is a sort of a new tip. I'm putting 2 pieces of mirror card together. So I've got 500 GSM of that. Yeah. Then I'm going to take the bottle. And again, I'm going to spray glue him on. So I'm just using the spray glue off air so I don't get it covering all the electronics and everything. So I'm just going to stick that on. So remember, that's stuck onto 2. And then I'm going to drop the die back on top and just tape it down. Nice and simple. And then get it onto my plates and I'm running it through my machine. Just standard forward and back. I know you're only seeing my elbow, but here we go. Let's just take that off. So now I take the die off. There we go. So, of course, this worked earlier. And now it's got all sticky. There we go. Let's take that out. We drop that back on. So now I've got a gold label, gold foil and gold highlight pieces. How 3D does that look? I think that just looks absolutely beautiful. So there's my bottle. I've already cut here a couple of glasses and I've just cut these in white to match really well. And then I've cut some of the foliage that goes with it. So I've got some of that beautiful foliage cut to go with it. So I'm going to take my tags. So the first thing to do is to attach my tags together. And I do that with a little bit of foam tape. So what I want to do is to get both holes in the same place. Move that one out. Foam tape on. And stick it together. So they're now fixed, but the holes are in the same place and there's a little bit of differential between them. I've got a little bit of baker's twine here. So just going to go there. Oh, good evening, our Rob. So there we go. A little bit of baker's twine. And then I'm going to add that into the middle of my card before I actually do anything else. But it just, I don't know what it is about. It works. That sort of gold and green. So I'm going to have our champagne bottle. And I'm going to foam tape him because I want him to be 3D. This is champagne, you know. Could be Prosecco, could be Carver, whatever it is. And then glue glaze for my glasses. And this so far could be a great engagement, wedding, christening, congratulations, graduation. Although all of the bits have come from what are technically Christmas dies, at that point, to me, as our Emma was asking earlier, there's no Christmas. There's really no Christmas. But what I do want to do is I want to balance out that green bottle because it stands out a lot. And I think that's why they've been so clever including the foliage, because now I'm going to decorate using that foliage. So, and again, these, you don't have to do this as if it's Christmas. This doesn't have to be Christmas foliage. These could be just normal leaves. I mean, they do put a lot of sort of laurel leaves and things around sort of celebrations. They use it, don't they, for Formula One? That's what they put on the head of the winner. So I'm just going on with a dark green. So I've cut it in the dark green and a light green. I'm going to go on with the smaller pieces. I'm all good, thank you, Rob. Rob's just asking how we are. Ooh, Susan's had friends round. Very good. I hope you've had a nice time. So there we go. So I'm just adding little bits of the foliage on just to balance it out. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the holly on. And again, it still doesn't have to be Christmas. You could add a little flower into there, because your instinct is always to put, oh, I need to put red berries on. No, I'm going to put white on. So I'm just using some of our Pearl Dimension. Rob, just got in from work and checked the website. Who is Amy Designs? Amy Designs are part of Find It Media, which is a company in the Netherlands that we've dealt with for a lot of years. And Amy is an actual designer, and she designs the papers and the stamps and everything. And then the dies are taken from her designs. So Amy has been designing for a lot of years. And I've made a real mess there. So I'm going to try and show you. If you do that, because I didn't mix that one up well enough, I'm going to take all of it off. And I'm just going to stick a pearl on. Because I can, let's just take instead. So if you make it, and the blobs don't go together and the blobs come off, don't worry. I'm just going to stick a pearl onto it. It'll be absolutely fine. So I'll just get a little bit of that one. There we go. So there we have what could be a Christmas card, could be a New Year's Eve card. To me, could easily be a congratulations card, a christening card. How 3D? Now I've held that up, does that look? And look, it's virtually completely flat. But it looks really, really 3D because it's just beautiful. So that's using not even everything from that £18 collection. And as I said, if you're going for that collection, if you really fancy it and you can get onto the website again, please try back a little bit later if it does if it's not working for you. I'm just going to go and check my if I can get it to, if it's working for me. Let's have a look. So I always like to, no, it's still going a little bit slow for me even. So I was going to show you next. I wanted to use the other die. I've got a bit tied up in the dies from this set, haven't I? I really have. Because I wanted to use the other dies from this set, which are, when I find them, I'm terrible. I really am my own worst enemy. Take the penguin because we're going to do him, Winter Fox. There we go. These beautiful duo borders. So these are what I wanted to really go to town with because I think these are gorgeous. To be included in there and to have two separate ones really does make a lot of difference. go. Where are we? Let's put that link on. Nicola's been good and sitting on her hands and super glued the mouse. That's very clever. So these are, again, beautiful, but it's the fact that you're getting two completely different that work together so well that I think is just so clever on this. These are beautiful dies, but all they do is cut the top edge. They don't, and down the side, they don't cut the bottom. So you can make them to any height you want. So what I've got here is, I've got myself a piece of white, and I've got myself a piece of silver, and I've done one edge of each already. So all I want to do is make sure I get the right design, and all I'm going to do is just literally put it up. So I've cut my piece to 6 by 6. Yeah, so I've cut it to 6 by 6. Nice and simple. And I'm just going to put this on the edge, and I've cut it to 5, so it's 6 inches long and it's 5 inches wide. It needs to be really a little bit wider if you want it to do. Oh, Rob says it worked for him a minute ago. Oh, that's good. I think it's working and then it's not. Oh, Maureen, wish I'd left my card at home and in the Art of Craft earlier today. Too much temptation. Were you in the shop? Bless. Sorry, Maureen, there is so much temptation in there. There really is. So I'm just going to run that through and cut that. And I'm giving it a couple of good goes forward and back. And there we go. But look how beautiful all those details are. Just so finely detailed. And then I'm going to take the silver mirror card and I'm going to use the other die. And exactly the same, I've cut that. This one is 8 inches and I've cut this to 5 inches wide. Exactly the same, that little bit smaller. Need some info, Saturday's workshop. Hope it's gone to the right place. What info do you need, Sarah? All you need to bring is yourself. If you can bring a heat gun along with your normal basic tools, then that's all you need to bring. So if you want to bring anything with you, then just bring a heat gun would be useful. Then you don't have to share as much. But yeah, they will give you lots of information and I've got it all prepped. So I just need to let Jane know what flowers to cut for me because she's very kindly going to cut the flowers for you. Here we go. But you see there, again, how beautiful those two edges are. Absolutely gorgeous. So I've got my white piece. But can you see, I've not cut it straight. So it's on the wonk. So the easiest way for me to be able to correct this is just to cut them in the middle. So I'm going to cut them in the middle, so I've got them in 2 pieces. Doesn't need to be. And then obviously what I want to do is I'm wanting this to be a little bit like a square. So I'm going to cut a piece of coconut white at 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 because of course I started it at 5 by 5. Hello, Emma. Booked the Zoom class for next month on Tuesday. Loved it when it's on one of my days off. Oh, that's good, Nicola. Bless. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take down that because it's a little bit long. Remember where I've put there. It is my foam tape. So I'm just going to put a little bit of foam tape just underneath where that piece is. And that's going to go right at the top. Yeah. Yes, you will have a break. Yes, it's advisable to bring a packed lunch because most of the other ladies do. Because lunch isn't provided. And there is shops you can walk to, but they're a little bit distance and they're not the best. Oh, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? But they probably are. I've just never walked to them. So you can see there, it doesn't matter about the middle because I'm going to do exactly the same with the white pieces. So I've gone with the silver first, and then I'm going to slightly overlap the white so that I'm seeing silver through and it's coming up a little bit. Love this technique. I love the way it looks. Tea coffee is available. You don't need to bring your own for the workshop. Anyone's wondering, I'm doing a workshop down in Frimley for the Art of Craft on Saturday. I think it's the last one of the year. Really genuinely looking forward to it because I haven't done one since I first got ill. So all I'm going to do is just trim that off. But there is just the most beautiful edges, the most beautiful pieces. So obviously I want to put something in that middle. We need to cover that in. So I'm going to measure it, and we're talking 1. It's basically, I can get away with 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of silver mirror card, cut down to 2 inches by the 5.5 or 5.5 1/4. I'm then going to take a piece of white, and again 5 1/4. But what was it, 2 inches, wasn't it? So I'm going to take it to nearly 2. There we go. So I get that lovely crisp. When you put a crisp border on like that, it really makes it look so expensive. Long drive up from Poole, says Sarah. Oh, hope I won't get lost, leaving with plenty of time. No, don't leave tomorrow morning. Leave Saturday morning. You'll be fine. Our Christine will be there. She'll be... Christine, you'll be nice to our Sarah, won't you? And show her how to make herself a coffee and stuff. She will. There's such a lovely bunch down there in Frimley for the workshop. You will really enjoy it, Sarah. I think... No, you haven't been. I thought you'd been before. Now I've got you mixed up now. So here we go. So then I've got a panel to go on there. And again, rather than foam tape it and make it go too far, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. So there. I just think that looks, again, so expensive. And it really genuinely isn't that expensive. But I think, oh, yeah. I think we might have to put our little penguin on. But I'm going to, where have I put him? There he is. So I'm going to make, I wanted 3. So I should have another one somewhere. I'd got 2 made ready for me to make a 3rd one. To put 3 in a row. And I've probably put him somewhere silly or stuck him on a card or something. So we'll just make one more. We'll make a 2nd one. So the penguin, really easy to do. And a great die set. And again, another one that's just £4. So it's really worth it. In terms of... it's really worth it in terms of adding on to your £18 bundle to get you over that £22 postage. So remember, over £20, it's free P&P on the Art of Craft. Oh, bless. Sorry, no, Sarah. No, I thought that was. You only need a sentiment on that. You do, to be honest. Emma, any chance of a workshop in this part of the country? If you organise one, Emma, or you know somebody who wants to, I'll happily do it. I never ever did one around Leicestershire, or Leicester, as I remember, because there were no craft shops anywhere near me when I lived there. So all I'm doing now is cutting him out in black to start with. And he comes so that you can paper piece him. So he's actually quite clever because he's designed with all the separate parts so that if you want to, you can paper piece him. You know me, I think I'm a little bit lazy in terms of doing that. So I'm going to do my cheats way of doing it. So I'm going to take all of the pieces out. Look, I mean, he's just such a cute little character. He really is. And we're going to spray glue him down onto a piece of white. So he's perfect. I'm then going to take the die and again, drop him on top, tape him down, and then take him through the centre of your machine. So we're always, when we're not wanting to cut that well, got to do it through the centre. So there we go. And all I'm doing is giving it one run. You see, Christine says you'll be fine, Sarah. Everyone is friendly and helpful. They are, genuinely. All you have to do is watch out for Little Lamb, because she does bite. But it's okay, we stick her on the end, and we've usually got Jane guarding her, so don't worry, she won't bite. Brenda will kill me if she's watching for saying that. But can you see there, look, how much easier is that to do? And then I'm just going to add a little bit of foam tape on the back, just to hold all the pieces in place in case any of them decide to break out. But that's so much quicker. Then what we can do is take one of your alcohol pens, and colour his beak. Really simple. Really easy to do. I've lost the other one. Honestly. So suddenly we make his beak that little bit orangey, as it would be. You know, the eyes have got the white dots in them. Sarah says everyone's making you hungry. I love a good old traditional British pudding. I'm going to upset everybody here. I can't stand apple pie. I really don't like apple pie. I never have liked it. I'm not a massive apple. I wouldn't eat an apple either. So, but I love apple juice. So it's just the weirdness that we all have, isn't it? So all I'm going to do now is to cut out his little scarf. So again, just onto white card. I do love a British pudding now, I've got to admit. But it has to be custard. I'm with Christine on that. It has to be custard. It's the only right thing. Actually, you can have custard and ice cream, and I'm an ice cream fan, but with a pudding, yeah, custard. So again, just using that finger dauber and the red, and just working through. This is what I love about Amy's dies, because she's an artist. She doesn't think of them as dies, she thinks of them as sort of like drawings, and then works out how the die can make the drawing come to life. So I've just used a little bit of red around there. I'm just going to use some glue glaze. And I'm just going to stick him on. There we go. But look, how cute is he? And you've got the hats and pieces that you can do. But I just think it's just so cute. And I think in terms of a sentiment, and I'm hoping I've got some in here. I would use my Christmas sentiment dies, because they would work so well. Unfortunately, they're all packed in the car because we're using them at the workshop tomorrow, because I've got a workshop tomorrow as well in Louth at H&J Crafts. So it's crazy that I'm doing two in the same week when I only do about 6 workshops a year now, because there's just not the shops anymore, unfortunately, to do them. We're hoping we might be able to do some Hobbycraft at some point if that continues. So, but yeah, I'm just using a little Happy Christmas peel off. Always works. And then one of the things I would always be asked is, how do we turn that into a card? And what I need to do is I need to use some black, because I've used black. I need to make sure I've got some black in here as well. Oh, Jane is being controversial. She's just had rhubarb crumble with Greek yogurt. That's very, very controversial. Yes, definitely. So let's see what everyone thinks of that one. So what I'm going to do is, that was 5 1/4, remember? So I'm going to cut a piece to 5 1/2. So I'm making a mat for it that adds on 1/4 inch. Yep. I'm then going to take a piece of black and I'm going to make a little thin mat that's 1/8 inch. So it needs to be 5 5/8. So I'm adding 1/8 inch on to bring that black in. Yeah. There'll be a pop-up shop, Sarah. Yeah, there aren't any craft shops around, but the Art of Craft have their pop-up shop there, and can usually get you anything. If there's anything you want, you can ring them or email them beforehand and they'll take it there for you. Ooh, apple and blackberry crumbles and gooseberry and apple crumbles. Now that sounds quite nice. I wouldn't mind that. Sad, aren't I? I don't like apples, but I don't mind if you put something fruity in there. So again, a little bit of foam tape, just all the way around. We'll get away with just 3 sides for the minute, I think. Oh, Miriam, no internet and then curry delivered. See you later, Miriam. Ooh, quite fancy a curry. But it's an early night for me, I think. And then all I'm going to do is to just pop that onto a 6x6 card plate. So I'm just going to make one. So just while I'm doing that, you can have a look at the card we made earlier with it. So I will be back in about 5-6 minutes time with Craft Cave Live, internet willing. There we go. So I've made it so we've got a nice little mat on there, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, nice and simple, but using that penguin on top of that wonderful £18 stupid bargain, absolutely ridiculous, silly to be missed. Bargain that we've got tonight on our midweek deals. So if you can get onto the website, have a look at all of the pieces we've got. We've had that brilliant bundle at £18. We've got those 3 stamp sets at £4.50. Please have a look at those. They are really ridiculous value. They should be. I mean, £4.50 is less than is supposedly half price. To me, that's a quarter price of what they should be. Should be £12.99 A5 stamp sets. So there's lots of different individuals you can get hold of tonight. And that's our main one. But if you can, and you want to join me in 5 minutes time over on John Next Door Official, where we'll just do some more chat and some more demoing on Craft Cave Live. There is no release this week. There's no Sunday this week because of all of the workshops. I just can't. It's too much on. But we'll be back next Wednesday at 6, and then with a new release